I'm Taylor Oracle, and this is part 5 of the complete Lenormand course. So today we're talking about the ring. Now the ring is a strong connection, obviously commitment, unions, marriage, master the obvious here. So if you're looking at a relationship reading, what does he think about me or something like that, this is going to be a positive sign. It's going to be a serious relationship. Now, this also can represent jewelry as per the picture's sake. It could be maybe a gift of jewelry. It could be some possession that you really, really enjoy or something that you cherish, something that you are connected to. Maybe this is an object you're connected to, maybe it's a person you're connected to, or whatever. Obviously, if you combine the ring with the heart, looking at a loving relationship here, right? Looking at love with a commitment, love, and then a commitment or happiness followed by a commitment or whatever. So you got to sort of take this into context with the cards next to it. Now, if you are getting married and you happen to find the mountain nearby, you could be looking at a delayed marriage or a delay in getting the marriage done or a delay in the commitment or something like that. So if you have a man, he's not committing, he's taking a long time, we could have the indicator here of this with the ring. Now remember that the ring is ruled by not only Venus, the harmony side of Venus, but also Taurus. Now, if you look at Taurus, Taurus is a very stable sign. Taurus doesn't like change, right? Taurus wants things done this way. Taurus is like the stout, strong, not fond of a lot of change, like the stability. So you're looking at a stable connection. This is not a connection that's going to go away anytime soon. This is a fairly stable connection. And again, if it's delayed with the mountain, then that's probably not a good sign, as well as we have a connection that could be cut. So is he seeing somebody else, or what's going on with the relationship? Maybe the relationship is being cut short, right? Or maybe you have the upcoming marriage is not going to happen. Maybe you have a cut relationship or a cut connection. So if you're fond of something, maybe like your favorite car or whatever, and you're getting a new car, you're going to have the cut in that connection. Even though it's a physical object, you still have a connection with it. Some people just absolutely adore some of their possessions, and getting rid of them is kind of hard. So if you have this in front of a man, you could be looking at someone who already has a woman, right? Someone who already has a commitment. So you have a committed man. So you may want to look at that as well if you have this in a reading. If you have the clouds around it, you could be looking at a clouded or a confused situation with a commitment. So what, my husband is this or that, what's kind of going on? You could have a clouded relationship here, or you could have an upcoming commitment that's clouded before it actually gets started. Again, depending upon that. So being such a positive card as well, we could be looking for confirmation or a yes or no. So if we have a yes or no question and you get the ring, the answer is most likely going to be yes. So for example, we have a rider that brings news and information. The news and information is pointing to a confirmation. So somebody wants to know, am I going to win the ticket or whatever that I just bought for $20 in the lottery? Confirmation. Maybe, hey, maybe you get a message of confirmation. So if you do have a yes or no question, this is definitely going to lean towards the yes, being a hugely positive card. Now the next card is the book, and you'll notice many different types of books. We have closed books, and then we have open books. So this has a dual meaning. One meaning that's very common is hidden knowledge. There's something hidden. There's something knowledge hidden. It's in a closed book, and you're not aware of it. Another is sort of an intelligence or a wisdom or a knowingness of some things. So maybe there's some knowledge that you can get. Maybe there's some knowledge that's hidden. Every book is kind of talks about a different type of reading that you can do. Again, it depends on the cards that are next to it. Again, you could be talking about secrets. There could be secret knowledge, or there could be an open book. There could be knowledge that you're gaining that you didn't have before. Now, this also obviously represents education, someone that is very knowledgeable, someone that has the knowledge that you need, possibly. Maybe a doctor or somebody that's going to have the knowledge that you need for a particular situation. You're feeling bad, feeling sick, whatever. That doctor is going to be able to give you the knowledge that you need. Now, again, the open and closed varies widely between the definitions in various books about the book. So again, you could be looking at secrets, or you could be looking at open knowledge or knowledge that is revealed. If it's a type of person, it could be a person, again, that's very knowledgeable about things like a professional. Maybe a doctor, dentist, lawyer, whatever. So now the book is ruled by Saturn and Mercury. Mercury for the communication, and Saturn for sort of the teacher or the knowledge aspect of it. The astrological sign is Virgo. Now remember, Virgo is sort of the really picky but super knowledgeable type of sign, right? Probably overthinks things, thinks things through a little too much without a lot of action. Sort of on the Myers-Briggs scale, sort of like an INTP or something, right? They plan for a year to do something, and then they never actually do it, but they have these perfect plans on how to do every little meticulous thing. Virgo is also very knowledgeable about health and things like that. So look at sort of the Virgo side of this, as well as when you get a Lenormand deck, try to make sure that you can get both open and closed books. That would be great. Maybe if you'd like, have both of those in the deck, so when you shuffle it up, you can have maybe a closed or open book variant in your readings. Now, what is it about the book that could be interesting here? Maybe it's a knowledgeable friend, right? Maybe your friend has some knowledge that you need, and you need to go talk to your friend. You know, open a communication with your friend because it has the knowledge that you need for this particular situation. It could also be knowledgeable or hidden secrets when it comes to communication. Somebody's communicating with you, but they're doing it under the guise of secrets, or they're doing it under the guise of maybe a professional knowledge in something that you need to know. So it's good. So let's say you have the institution card here, which also could be lawsuits, etc., education, but you have an institution card that's going to have the knowledge that you need that will communicate it to you, right? So if you go see a lawyer, the lawyer, maybe the institution, lawsuit, courthouse, is going to have the hidden knowledge that you need and will communicate that with a communication card to you. You could also be looking at possibly a group of people with the knowledge. This is crowds, groups, bunches of people. So you could have a knowledgeable bunch of people or a knowledgeable group of people that you're going to see for some information. Now, it could be secrets that are not so good as well, so look at that as well. It could be something that's revealed that is not exactly the best thing that you want to hear, or it could be knowledge that's clouded in confusion. It could be confused or clouded knowledge that you're getting from this particular source. So look at the clouded knowledge, clouded secrets. So again, open book, if you can get a deck that has variants for closed and open books, that would be great, because now you can sort of lean both sides of the book and have it be a valuable asset to your readings. Now the next card is the letter. The letter is ruled by Mercury. Obviously the same Mercury as this card, which we'll be coming back to in a minute, because the letter represents information. It represents a communication coming in, an incoming communication, news, maybe some paperwork if you're undergoing a lawsuit. Maybe if you're looking to close a deal on a house, you could be looking at the letter as the information that you need. This is all sorts of communication. It's communication, verbal, written, could be something on your social media or whatever. It's definitely communication based. Now, I know your first question is, hey, wait a minute. The rider was news. What's the difference between the rider and the letter? Well, the letter is more leaning towards official communication, or communication that sort of confirms something. It's communication maybe that you were expecting, or communication that sort of changes something. The rider is the arrival of someone, or the arrival of some news that you wanted. This could also be news, but again, there's that subtle difference between the arrival of someone or the arrival of some news and maybe something that you were expecting, maybe something that you were looking for. Obviously, they have a lot of similarities. We're talking Mercury and Mercury, but there's a very, very subtle difference. Obviously, both cards as well are going to be influenced by cards that are next to them. It could be news about your friend. There could be some information about your friend, or maybe your friend is bringing over some official documents for the court proceedings or official documents for closing on your house or something like that. So look at that as well. You could have the official documents cut short. That could not be something that you were expecting. It could be something unexpected. You also could have the end of the communication or the end of the official document. So you're communicating with someone, you're expecting something, you may not get the answer that you were hoping for. This could be a change. This could be the end of what you were expecting and the beginning of something new, or it just could be the finale of what you're looking for. So let's say you had, again, you had a court proceeding going on, or you're looking for something official from an official source. We have the tower, the official source, the big building, education, government, things like that. Maybe you're waiting for a tax return. Here it comes. And but this would indicate the end of it. So this is maybe looking at a final communication about the issue that you were looking at before. Now, I know you're also saying, wait a minute, the birds are also communication. The birds are communication via voice. The birds are communication being that as well. Again, we're looking at something more official here. We're looking at something maybe that's expected here and maybe unexpected over here. So the letter is, again, ruled by Mercury, and it's all about the communication. You could have a very clouded communication as well. Maybe something that you weren't expecting. You could have communication about a commitment. Maybe you're wondering, how committed is he to me? You could have some communication coming in about the commitment, or he could be writing you something on your social media about the commitment, something that you're looking forward to. Now, you could mix this up as well with some maybe bad cards and read it as such, but overall the letter is sort of a neutral, and it's combined with the cards that are around it. So you definitely want to find out, again, number one, what type of communication are we talking about? Number two, is this an expected communication? Are you waiting for a response from someone? If so, the letter may be your go-to card where you're going to go look for that particular type of communication, news, messages, or papers. Now, the next card is the Man, which is really a sort of a non-card. It really depends on the cards that are around it. Now, most decks that you can get will come with different types of men, maybe the hunky man, the other guy, but they're facing different directions. And facing is something that you see in Kipper cards as well, but it's interesting that when they talk about facings, they want to know if a man and a woman are facing each other, if the relationship is going in that direction, if it's a positive relationship facing each other. Maybe they're facing away, they're having some sort of a difficulty. But the Man by itself really doesn't mean anything, but we can throw tons of cards down that could mean a bunch of stuff. If you have a man querent, in other words, the guy paying you for a reading, then this would be the center of attention. All the cards around him would indicate the situation with the querent. Now, you could have a man that's looking for a commitment, or a man that's looking for a commitment to another guy, or a man that's looking for a commitment to an attractive lady. But it all depends on what's around the card. We could have a man who already is in a relationship, because this is in the past, and then we have the Man, a relationship, a tied up man, right? Could have a man, you could have, let's see, a man that you're dealing with in an official manner. It could be a teacher or something like that. This could be education, big business, government. Could be a government man or a government official that's coming out to talk to you or something like that. Maybe you're filing your taxes and you need some help. Now, it also could be, you also could have a man that is changing, or a man that's undergoing a major change. Maybe he had a shift in his job, maybe he got divorced or whatever, but he's undergoing a big change and stuff like that. Now, you could also have a friend man. So maybe you have this in a reading and you're looking at a friend type relationship with this man, or a friendly guy, right? Maybe a friendly guy, maybe a guy who is friendly, maybe one who's lucky or whatever. Could have a loving individual, a very loving man, a very committed type person who loves, you know, who is good at heart, and a loving type person as well. Now you could also have a man clouded or shrouded in some sort of a mystery or confusion or something like that. So you definitely have some of those. So you're asking about, you know, what is it about this guy? Is it a good guy? Is it a bad guy? He could be shrouded with confusion. Now you could have the arrival or news about the arrival of a man. So you're looking for a guy or something like that, and you want to know, you know, what's happening. You could have the arrival of a new man, as well as the strong card here. We could have a man surrounded by money. You could have a money or an authoritative man, because this does mean your financial situation. Maybe a rich man, maybe a man with money. Could also be an authoritative, the bear, authoritative man as well. It could have a man very focused on the home. One of the guys maybe works from home, or he's very home focused, doesn't leave a lot, watches movies or something like that. Now, you can also have definite cards that affect men as well. So maybe a man who is involved with bad words, or a man who does that type of thing as well. You could also have maybe a childlike man, maybe a young at heart kind of guy, likes to go out and just goof off and do all sorts of fun things and stuff like that. So the man by himself is just sort of neutral. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. And now we come to the next card, which is going to be the woman. Same thing. So basically the woman is just going to be a repeat of what I just said for the man. Again, not really significant on its own, but the cards around the woman definitely make it significant and describe the woman, or describe the situation, or describe the arrival, or something else. So again, the woman is going to be your querent if the querent is a woman. So you come and the querent is a woman, you're going to have the querent in the middle, and you're going to make maybe a 9-card spread around, or you're going to look for the woman in the grand tableau to discover things like that. So again, we have 1,000 modifiers that could go along with the woman. Basically, it's the same thing that you have with the man. So let's do some more examples, just because I don't want to disappoint you here by not having some examples here. So maybe we have a secretive woman, right? Closed book maybe is secretive. Maybe this is a very knowledgeable woman as well. You could have a well-educated, a professional woman, or you could have a very secretive woman as well. Again, it depends on the cards around it or the question that you have been asked. And again, we can use the facings that we have in both tarot and some other types of divination cards as well. Who's facing whom? The woman is interested in the man and facing the man, but the man is facing away. He's not facing back like this man here. Instead, maybe the relationship is one-sided, where the woman is interested in the man is not so much interested in the woman, right? So the man could be turning his back on the woman or something like that. Again, it depends on the cards around it. And again, we could have the confused woman, or the woman in a place where she doesn't really know what to do. You could have a woman in a situation that's delayed. So she has a delay on something. She's looking for a commitment, or she's looking for something to go to, and it is delayed. It is not exactly, you know, the best type of thing too. Again, could have a woman that stays at home a lot, checks a lot of social media, but doesn't go out, doesn't have any friends or something like that. Or you could have the opposite. You could have a woman that's involved with a lot of social groups. So you have a social group-minded woman who goes out a lot, loves to go out and chat and all this other stuff. Maybe she's very communicative with all the people. So we have a social woman that is communicative, that likes to communicate, talk, and share information, and is a joy to be around. So again, woman is sort of neutral, man is sort of neutral. The cards around them will flavor that person and tell you more about them, tell you what they're interested in, or tell you their situation. And the next card is the Lily. The Lily is sort of a peaceful respite at the end of your journey. It's a completion of something. You could have completed a goal. You could have completed a project that you're working on. You could have completed a job search that you were looking for. It's the completion of something, as well as it could represent an older, wiser person or someone with a lot of knowledge about something. So you could be looking at maybe a family member, and again, you have this sort of a feeling in this card with an older, wiser person, or a completion, a peaceful end of the tranquility or things like that. You could have an older, wiser friend. You could have a friend that's older. You're asking the question, hey, who am I going to get some advice from? I need some help with this. It could be someone who's older and wiser that is a friend as well. Now, you could have somebody in the family tree. It could be an older, wiser member of your family. Again, the tree represents not only health, but it could represent your lineage. It could represent your family tree. So you could be looking at an older, wiser member of your family, maybe your grandmother, your mom, or something like that. So again, you could have modifications to that. Could be an older woman is coming. An older woman is coming for some information. An older woman is coming into your life or whatever. Maybe you're dating, you like them a little older. Maybe you have an older woman. Now, again, let's come back to the completion of this. If you have a government institution or if you have some type of institution, let's say you were closing on a house, this could be the completion of that as well. Now, we could have a letter indicating a completion, not only a completion, but official news or official documentation of that completion. It could be the completion of something is not quite going to work out how you thought. Maybe the completion of that is cut short, right? You could have some bad news as that as well. So it is the completion of something, again, an older person. A lot of books indicate an older person as well. So you definitely don't want any bad cards around this. It could be an older person, maybe that's not out for your best interest. So you definitely want to watch out for that, or an older person with a lot of bad things to say, an older person with a lot of bad news as well. Now, remember the guidance card, you could have an older person giving you guidance. Could have the star, the guidance card. Maybe you're going to get guidance from this older person, but it could indicate that as well. So again, with the completion, you could have the completion of, where's the fox? You could have a completion, if you have the fox card, you could have the completion of your job. So you were looking to retire or something like that. And then at the end of that, you could have the completion of that as well. Here's the fox. So you could have a completion of your job. So you're looking for retirement. You're asking, when am I going to retire? Here's your 9-to-5 job, the stable job, and a completion of that. A nice, positive completion of that job. So your retirement could be around the corner. Maybe you're the older, wiser one at work, and you're looking to retire. When are you going to retire? You could be looking 9-to-5 job and a completion of that. If you have the child here for a gig jobs and you're looking for a full-time job, maybe you're doing the transition between those as well. So again, the two meanings are an older person, a wiser person, and the completion of a project or a good outcome. And that is the end of this segment on the complete Lenormand course. Only one video to go for the card meanings, and then we're going to do all sorts of reading examples as well. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe.